Hello viewers, this is Cosmic Nick here, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing and testing this PS5. Okay, so I've had this console. I apparently bought it on February 20th, and the seller was pretty nice. They were working with me to negotiate the price for the shipping and everything, and they let me know that they had somebody else working. Kind of scared to cut that, but they had somebody else that they're trying to work out a deal with, but they told me that if that person didn't get back to them, that they would sell the console to me. So I'm glad that I was able to snag it. It was a pretty good deal. It was $240, and I just looked in the description that it said that they're supposed to come with the stand and the power cable. So the issue with this console that they were telling me, it's able to read some games but not others, and then it has an error message when trying to play certain games. So we're just gonna unbox it real quick and then take a look. Oh my gosh. Is this actually the box that it's supposed to come in? A PlayStation logo on it. I didn't expect it to come in a box, but that's pretty cool. I don't know what box the PS5 is supposed to come in, but that's really cool. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm gonna take this out, put it on the desk, and then we'll pick it up from there. Okay, so this box is pretty dinged in on this side. It looks like they tore the cardboard that's supposed to cover these flaps. But anyways, yes, it's all taped up. I kind of wish it wasn't, because I don't want to like rip off the piece of the box, but I'm just gonna cut the tape right now, and then we'll tear into this thing. All right, there we go. Now we should be able to... Oh my gosh! All right, well, there's a little jump scare. I guess this is the stand for the PS5. This is the first PS5 that I've ever owned personally. My sister's boyfriend has a PS5. That's the only one that I've really seen in person. But yeah, so this is the first PS5 that I've ever actually owned myself. So let's see, I'm gonna pop that out. Okay. And there's the console in there. Oh, nice, it still has the foam pieces that hold it in place. Okay, so I'm just gonna scoot that out and then put it on the desk and take all the boxes and stuff aside, and then we'll keep unboxing this. All right, so we got the PS5 here. Let's just take a look. A little bit of dust on the outside here, not too bad. Yeah, a little bit of dust you can see on the other side here as well. And on this front side with the panel, a little bit of dust there as well. Let's take a look at the HDMI port. HDMI port looks fine. I didn't see the power cable in there. The description said it was supposed to come with the power cable. I mean, honestly, I'm less concerned with that because it just takes, you know, the little generic, I don't know what to call it, I just call it the generic like 2-prong connector. So that, you know, same cable for PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One X. That cable is everywhere, so it's not too hard to get your hands on one. They're also really cheap. But I'm gonna take a look in the box real quick to see if they actually included that cable or not. Okay, so I couldn't find the power cable in there, but not too big of a deal. They're really cheap. I am just really glad that it came with the stand. Is this supposed to be so that it can stand vertically, or is it also supposed to help it sit horizontally too? Let me see if I can figure this out. Why does Sony have to make this such a weird shape? Okay, so a quick video. So it's supposed to be turned like that, and then I guess you line it up with these little PlayStation symbols, little squares. There's a square here and a square here. And I guess you just line it up on that, these little hooks. And I guess, yeah, it kind of hugs the bottom of the console. There we go. That's nice and feels much more sturdy. Okay, so we're just gonna plug it in and test it out. And then I almost forgot, before I can test out the console, we gotta get some controllers. So this seller, I think, said that, you know, one of those generic various issues. It could be stick drift, it could be just damage, buttons not working. So this is 4 PS5 controllers, and I think it was around 70 something dollars, around 80 for all 4 of them. I thought that was a pretty good deal, and I just really wanted a controller so that I could test out this console. All right, get that open. Well, packaging could have been better, that's for sure. Sticks don't look too bad. This feels really grimy and gross though. Yeah, packaging definitely could have been better. But anyways, let's see. Hopefully one of these works. We're gonna boot up the console right now and then test it out. All right, so gonna power it on. Perfect. All right, it went to a white light. That's great. Perfect, and it's displaying to the screen. All right, so I need to get a USB-C cable to connect the controller up. I know I got one lying around somewhere, so I'm gonna go look for that and then we'll pick up the recording after that. All right, so I couldn't find the cable that I was looking for, but I have another USB-C cable, so we're just gonna use that and it should work fine, hopefully. Controller is orange, I think it means it's charging. And let's see, press the PS button. Perfect, all right, at least it's linked up. Let's see what it says. Update, okay. All right, I'm just gonna connect to the network real quick. All right, so we gotta connect to the internet. The main thing we wanna do is test out this disk drive to see what's going on. And I got this game right here, the security breach for the PS5. I really hate to open a brand new game, but hey, we gotta test this out. And I also really wanna play this once I get the chance to. So I'm just gonna open it up. That's cute, the game comes with a little sticker sheet inside. Anyways, disk is pretty clean, it's brand new disk, so we'll see if the console is able to read it or not. All right, for the game, I'm gonna show you guys the game actually getting pulled in so you guys can see what the condition of the disk drive is like. Anyways, here we go. Pulls it in, really no issue. All right, let's see if it'll show up. It sounds like it's booting up, I don't know where, oh, here we go. This looks like the game is downloading. I'm not seeing any issues so far. So that's good. This console seems to be working with this game, but the seller said that it only works with some games and not others. So, I mean, this is the only PS5 game that I have so far, but, oh, did it stop downloading? I heard it stop spinning. Okay, that might not be good. I guess we'll let it sit for a little bit and we'll see if the download will resume or not. All right, so the game is still downloading. That's good. So you just gotta click on it. Yeah, so it's downloading the update for the game, but I am logged in right now with my own PlayStation account, so I think if I go into the settings to double check, I believe the PlayStation Network is working, which is great because it means, yeah, so PlayStation Network signed in. So that's good, as long as the PlayStation Network I'm able to log into, I think that means this console is fine and it's not banned or anything. So, well, at least now I can finally rate this seller because this is like the last day that I can do it. Gotta give him some positive feedback. But yeah, so I'm glad that this thing seems to be working as described so far, and unfortunately, I only have the one game to test it with, but you'll have to hold off finishing this video until I have any other games that I can test out and see if it has trouble reading it like the description said. Okay, so you see the error message that's popped up right now? I'm starting to see what the seller was talking about when it tries to load games. So I'm gonna show you guys this game. The only one that I have right now is finished downloading. So if I try to play it, this is what happens. The console just will start to play it. And then kind of restart with the game. And then it just completely shuts off. So that's a really strange, error to be happening. So we'll turn it back on and we'll take a look at the error message that popped up. Okay, so we got the error history right here. Today is, April 21st, and those are the errors that were showing up. Dog in the background. These are the errors that were showing up today when I was trying to load the game up, so it's the same error, CE-108262-9, and this is the error that the seller must have been experiencing. This is the one he told me about, or that they told me about, CE, 1000056, or this one, the ending in 22-5. She's got all sorts of errors. Actually, that's the same one right here that I have, right? The 0826, yeah. So it looks like these are all the times that the seller was trying to load up games and it just wasn't working all the way back till we have August of 2023. So maybe they held on to it for as long as possible. They tried to test it out again in November, then probably listed it on eBay around that time, and then that's when I bought it around February. I'm just gonna try to reset this completely and we'll see what happens. The seller already said that they tried to, reinstall software and do that, but we'll see if we can get any kind of different result. Okay, so I wanted to double check the other profiles before resetting it, and I did try to load this Call of Duty game. I believe it is a digital game. It just did the exact same thing that happened when I started the security breach game, and the console just shut off. So now, without really any other option, I'm going to try and reset the console all the way. Okay, so I have the console in safe mode, and I'm just gonna try to go through each of these options before doing the resets to see if any of them will work. So first we're gonna try to do the repair console storage. I'll try that one and see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna try to do the start without updating option again on this game and see what happens. Okay, same issue, console just shuts off. All right, so now we're gonna try the next option that happens in safe mode. Okay, so it's back in safe mode. I'm pretty sure I already updated the system software, so we'll see if anything shows up though when we try to do it. Okay, I guess we'll try that one. I thought I already updated it earlier, but try to do that again. Wait for that to finish, then we'll try it again. All right, the PlayStation 5 has finished updating. Let's see what happens when we try to play this now. Same thing, same time too, very quickly. All right, we'll try the next option on the safe mode menu now. All right, so I don't really think the restore default settings option is going to do anything, but I mean, we can just try that anyways. I already tried the clear cache and restore database option earlier, but that didn't work, but I'll just do it again for video's sake. Whoa, okay, so this one, when it was trying to reset it to the factory defaults, it had an error message pop up, the SU101600-8. That's strange. Okay, I'm gonna look up that code real quick and see what I can find. From some quick Googling, I just saw different things that people were saying about that error code, nothing really specific about what causes it. I saw one person say that their Blu-ray ribbon connector was unplugged and that fixed it when they put it back in. Another person said that that error showed up after an HDMI port replacement, but I don't really know. So I already tried the clear cache and rebuild database option earlier, so honestly, yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. I'm just gonna reset the PS5, and let's just do the option where it's reinstalling the system software. Oh, okay, never mind. Let's just try the top option first, and then I'll get a USB going if I need to. All right, well, hopefully this works, but we'll see. Okay, so we got the console reset right now. It was a pretty quick process because it was just doing the, I'm guessing, a basic reset. But anyways, okay, so I'm gonna set the console up and then we'll see how long the game takes to download and see if it'll boot up after it's finished. Okay, so while resetting the console, this message came up talking about something went wrong with the system software. So that's kind of concerning. I'm really hoping that this issue can be fixed so that I can actually use this console. All right, so you can see the same error code is up in the top right of the screen. I typed a little message that the console keeps shutting down when trying to load apps. So I'm just gonna hit accept and report, and I don't know if Sony will ever get back to me or not. I'm just gonna try to reset the console with the USB update if this doesn't work, or if this reset didn't work. Okay, so while I was installing the game, it was right near the end of the installation, and we got this something wrong and can't install message that popped up, and now it's a different error code in the top right. So that's frustrating. Don't really know if I can do anything else without trying to do the reset with the USB now, but we'll see what I can do. Okay, so clicking on the error message or the little view details option, it says, yeah, data is corrupted. It will be deleted from your downloads and copies. Okay, so can't play that. Okay, so I got the USB plugged in. And now we're gonna try to reset it with reinstalling it with the USB, and hopefully that will work, but honestly not too hopeful at this point. Okay, so the console is reset again, this time with the USB update. I'm just gonna finish setting it up again and then we'll test it out. Okay, so even after trying to do the download after resetting it, it still is talking about corrupted data. So I have a feeling that there's something wrong with the storage in the console. Whatever internal storage it has, it's gotta be either damaged or corrupted, or maybe the storage is faulty and it's going to go out sometime soon, so that might need to be replaced, but that's the only thing I can think of right now. I'm gonna try to mess around with the console, but yeah, this is just where we're at right now. The one option that I skipped looking at, I forgot, has a second option in it, which is the rebuild database. So I don't think I did that. When I did it, I think I just did the clear system software cache. So I'm gonna try the rebuild database option and we'll see if that does anything. All right, since I tested this out and I can't find out any reason why it's only playing PS4 games and not PS5 games, I'm going to take it apart. Yeah, that's the only option I have left, and maybe there's something loose in here that needs to get plugged back in, but we'll see. Okay, so I gotta get the top plate off first. I really don't want to break anything, but I don't know, I can't get this off, but all right, I'm gonna fight with this for a minute. Okay, well, I got it off, but now it's like, okay, well, it was coming off a lot easier. Let's see. I guess these two little notches here plug into these holes, and once you get that removed, it'll be much easier. Oh, that's funny. It created a PlayStation logo in the dust. That's hilarious. Like, I should have kept that on there. Anyways, this is pretty dusty, but there we go. Got this plate off. Got the other panel now. Okay, there we go. Got that one off. You can see the panel for this one is also really, really dusty, but let's take a look, see what we can find inside the console, other than a bunch of dust apparently. I got my iFixit toolkit to take this apart. Let's see, I know this is the SSD slot, I believe. This should just pop up, I think. No SSD, not surprised. But let's see. I'll clean up some of this dust real quick, just scoop it away. Not like this is gonna be causing our issue, at least I don't think. Because it's definitely not overheating. Otherwise I feel like it would have had an overheating error, not, you know, this error where it just is not reading, or not reading, where it's not playing any PS5 games at all for whatever reason. But, you know, we'll just do a very generic general cleaning while we're in here. All right, this piece apparently just lifts up without any kind of screws, so that's good. I'll just pop that out. Looks like there's a panel here for the fan also. I don't see it being held down by anything. Ooh. Well, I broke that little piece of plastic that came off. I didn't think there's anything holding that down. Is this not supposed to come up? Is it supposed to come up? I'm confused now. All right, looks like this is just a huge adhesive strip that's on the back of this, so I don't think I messed up anything. I think it just has to get pried off like that. Okay, we have the connector for the fan. Oh, this is just the shield. Okay, and the fan comes up like that. Pretty dusty, but not the worst thing in the world. I've seen worse. Heat sink. Doesn't look like it's clogged, but it is just pretty dirty. All right, so it looks like it's just a bunch of T8 screws that are surrounding this black plate here. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, skip through taking out all these screws. I disconnected this cable and unscrewed the rest of the screws, so hopefully none of these fall out while I'm moving this around. There we go. Nothing is striking me as off right now. Okay, so let's remove this. Did I push or pull on this? I think I pull on it, right? And then that should loosen this ribbon cable piece up. Really feels like I'm gonna snap this cable. Okay, wow, that was not coming out even when I was pulling this like all the way back. I don't know. You guys can flame me in the comments if I'm doing this wrong. So now we have 18,000 screws that Sony has lovely decided to put in here. So I'm gonna remove all those and take this plate off. All right, so I had some trouble getting this metal plate up after getting all the screws out, but I think it's just because these thermal pads were really stuck down onto there. Anyways, what I really was looking for was to see if anything was loose that could have been causing this issue. Other than that, I don't really know what would be causing something like this to happen. So unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything that's like obviously loose or anything else. So I do not know what to look for next. Maybe take out everything in the board and then plug it back in. It's the only thing I can really think of trying at this point. Okay, I'm gonna fight with this cable for a minute, then we'll continue. All right, so I got that ribbon cable out finally. Took out the screws for this heat clamp as well. Put this to the side. I think I should be able to get this front panel off. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so the front panel can come out like that. Looks fine. I'm not really seeing anything loose or disconnected at all. And another screw here. And I didn't want to have to take this apart and separate the part of the board here that has the liquid metal because I have never worked with liquid metal before. This is the first PS5 I've ever owned and ever taken apart. So I think I'm going to just separate the motherboard from the metal shielding first. Okay, so looks like that's a pretty bad dry spot on the liquid metal on the APU. This thing probably overheated, I'm guessing, at one point, or maybe that's why it's having the issue that it's having, is because maybe this overheated and is faulty now. You can see exactly where that dry spot has lined up with here. Yeah, that is pretty bad. Okay, well, that's making me a little less hopeful in trying to fix this, but yeah, I guess we'll just continue with the teardown. Maybe I can just get a little bit of experience out of this, if anything. I think what I'm going to do afterwards is take my plastic spudger and try to spread this liquid metal a little bit more, because yeah, that is pretty bad, if I'm being honest. I got a feeling that this console might have gotten a little too hot and now it's causing some kind of glitch because there's not a good connection between maybe something on the APU. But I feel like if something like that had happened, it would cause a greater crash, or like it would cause like the whole PS5 to crash, and not just, you know, when trying to load PS5 specific games. But I don't know. I really don't know much about this console at all. I'm just kind of rambling, but yeah, this thing definitely took a lot of heat at some point. Okay, so now I think this should be able to lift off, or we'll get the silver panel out first. I didn't realize that there was a screw right here. There was a screw right here that was screwed in from the bottom, so that's my bad. But anyways, we got this free now. This is the heatsink. It's a little bit dusty on this side and a little bit of dust on the inside of the vents, but it's nothing too crazy. Let's see, we'll get power supply removed now. Okay, so now the power supply is free. Not really seeing anything noteworthy. Just a lot of dust on the sides here and then there, but yeah, nothing crazy. Okay, so I think while I have this taken apart, I'm just gonna do like a generic cleaning, get all the major dust out, respread the thermal paste, or not thermal paste, respread the liquid metal as best as I can to kind of cover up that dry spot, and put this thing back together, and we'll see if anything's changed. I doubt anything will, but I don't know, we'll have to find out. All right, so I'm just gonna clean out major dust that's in this console. Just gonna do a very quick, generic kind of cleaning because I don't want to waste so much time on this if I can't get it to work anyways. So I'm just gonna get all the big clumps of dust out and maybe a quick wipe as well. Actually, before I go any further, I should probably clean up the liquid metal on this. And by clean it up, I mean just spread it out more, because I just don't want liquid metal to be out like this while I'm flinging dust everywhere, and then it just clumps up with the liquid metal and gets all nasty, and it'll probably cause this thing to overheat even worse if it hasn't had that issue already. Okay, so I'm not really sure what would be the best way to try to respread this liquid metal with what I have, but I don't know. I'm just gonna try to spread it carefully and evenly. I'll try to spread the liquid metal that's already on the top of the chip. Yeah, I know some people have like these little, they look like rubber kind of Q-tips that are provided with like liquid metal kits when you buy more liquid metal to apply, but those seem to work well with spreading this liquid metal around. I'm just kind of flailing with it right now and just trying to get a good layer over this heat sink, and then I'll spread the liquid metal on the chip as well. All right, there we go. Took a little bit of working, but now the liquid metal is at least connected across the entire heatsink here. As you can see, this console might have been used vertically before, and maybe that's why it looks like there's really not much liquid metal on this area here at all, and maybe it was like stood up this way. I don't even know if this is the right way that the PS5 would stand up if this was installed, but it looks like a lot of the liquid metal has pulled up around the edges here. It's like a lot has kind of spilled out. Like there's really not much that I can spread on here like there was on the heatsink itself. So yeah, that's not great, but I'm just gonna try to push some of the liquid metal back onto the chip if I can, and then I'm going to try my best to spread it. I feel like we got a decent amount still remaining on the heatsink, so hopefully that'll be enough if I can't spread it on this chip, but I would really prefer to spread the liquid metal on the chip so that this dry spot is covered, because you know the chip is the thing that needs to be protected, and this will just be better if I can get the liquid metal on the chip directly before putting it back together. I think I might just skip past this part because this is taking quite a while. All right, so it took a lot of doing, and honestly I wasn't sure if it was going to actually be able to spread, but I got the liquid metal to spread out across the entire chip here. I did kind of get a little bit of liquid metal on the foam here, and I tried to scrape up the liquid metal, but I just don't have the right tool. I need like one of those little needle, I just need like a syringe and a needle basically to clean up this liquid metal, and I'm really hoping that none got deep enough under here for me messing around with it to cause any kind of issues, because that would suck and this thing would basically be toast for me, and I would have to just sell it off as, you know, broken, and be broken worse than when I got it, so I probably wouldn't be able to make my money back. But yeah, so spread out on the heatsink is pretty good. Most of the liquid metal is there and not on the chip itself, but I got the liquid metal to spread out on the chip. So now I'm going to work on putting this thing back together so we can test it out. I really don't have too crazy hope for this thing to work, but if it's in the same condition, like, you know, same issue, then that's not the worst thing in the world, because at least the liquid metal I know is spread out properly on it now. So I'm gonna work on putting this back together, and yeah, we'll test it out after that. All right, so apparently I have to put in the front panel first, and then I can put the power supply in now. I didn't even realize that the screws here don't even really hold down anything except for the pieces of the power supply itself. So I guess I didn't need to take these two Phillips screws out, but well, learning experience. I think this just rests here, and then this one goes over it like that, question mark. Yeah, then I think I can start screwing it back together. All right, so we got those screws screwed back down. So hopefully the liquid metal stays spread out like it is on the chip right now. And then most of it's on here. So hopefully it'll all kind of mesh together and provide some good protection for that chip. Okay, there we go. Now we'll put the heatsink clamp back on. I think this one goes here and this is there. And now I'm going to try and put this connector back in. Kind of worried about messing it up because pulling it out was so difficult, but I mean, this feels really far back. It's not wedging in there anymore, so I think that should be fine. And this smaller ribbon cable over here should be pretty easy. Should just slot right in there. Just push it carefully. There we go. All right, now they're saying the back plate is ready to go on. All right, let's just pop this back on. And then I think there's a bunch of the silver Torx screws that hold this down, so I'm not gonna make you guys sit through and watch me screw in like 20 different screws, so I'll just get past that part. All right, now we gotta lay the antennas back down and try to tape them if we can, but we'll see what we can do. All right, it looks like this white cable was here, and then the black cable was right here. I just gotta screw down this black screw right here. All right, so I'll put these cables back. The white connector is the one on top, and this black connector is the second one here. And we'll also get the cable for the front panel here. We'll get this first cable plugged in. All right, so I'm gonna install this ribbon cable right here. Yeah, I don't think I can get that in any further. I think that's good. So now I'm gonna install the SSD screw, this little black Phillips screw with the piston. And I think this one goes right here. So there we go. All right, so we're gonna put the disk drive back in now. See if I can get this ribbon cable back in now. Yeah, I think that's in there good enough. All right, so I'm going to reinstall this front panel, or this top panel right now. I don't have too much hope for it to work. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish reassembling it and then test it out and we'll see what we got. For now, I'm just going to kind of skim through this so I can get this video out quicker. All right, so I finished screwing in the screws for this black plate here. But yeah, anyway, so this is all put back together for the most part. I'm just gonna clean up the fan now because it is pretty dusty. All right, and first we'll clean off this metal plate right here. Got a lot of dust on here, chunks of dust. The back side as well. All right, there we go. Now this fan, yeah, this is pretty dusty. Just gonna get all the major stuff off of it and then toss it back into the console. This fan is actually probably the first one that I've seen from these consoles over the years that's big enough where you can fit an entire Q-tip in between the blades and clean them just from that. You don't have to get any special small tools that can fit in there like I've had to use for basically any other fan for another console. So if you needed to do a more in-depth cleaning on the fan blades, you can just do it just like that and then clean both sides pretty easily, so that's good. Whoa, I was going to just finish up here. I cleaned off most of the major dust from the top of the blades, but yeah, I totally forgot that, or I almost forgot that the bottom of the blades needed good cleaning too, because that is some major dust down there. Yikes. Bottom area is a lot harder to clean because of the metal plate here that's blocking it, but still it's a good thing that these fan blades, like I said, are large enough where I can just take a Q-tip in from either side and pull the dust out that way, so it's making it a lot easier. Alright, there we go. Now most of the dust should be cleared off from this fan and is now all over my desk here, but now I'll reinstall the fan. Plug it back into the board. That's what that notch was for. This little piece of plastic that I broke off earlier is supposed to hold down the cables here for the fan. It's not the biggest deal, but it just sucks that I did that. Anyways, now we got the fan back and installed. And here we go. Actually, this will help hold down the cables a little bit. Not as good as the little tab would have, but at least that's there. All right, now we're gonna screw down this plate here. We'll put down this plate for the SSD, and I think it might just be the plates now. Well, actually, got these two screws right here. All right, it looks like the last two screws are gonna be going here, and the other one is right here. There we go. And I think that is, yeah, the last of the screws that I have. So we're gonna throw the plates back on, and then we're gonna test this thing out. So just drop this plate on right here. Then we will lay that back down. There you go. You can never tell this was taken apart, right? Right. All right, this adhesive is super sticky on this thing, so this should have no issue popping back on. It's like a rat trap. This thing is so sticky. All right, there we go. Now we can put the plates on. Well, actually, we'll give this a quick brush first because this is pretty nasty. There we go. And the remainder of the dust or residue might need to be wiped out, or not really sure what can get this up, but that looks like that's all we can do for this plate right now. Clean out the other one real quick. This one looks like it's even dustier than the other plate. All right, the plates don't look great, but that's all I'm really willing to do until I test it out. All right, now the video's saying that just pop the plate back on and then smack it from the side to pop it back into place. Okay, there we go, I see. And I'm assuming we do the same for the other side. See, the hook's going this way, so imagine it would need to slide on. There we go. All right, that's snapped back into place. Perfect. Now we'll put the horizontal stand on it and test it out. Okay, so I didn't actually push the power button on this, but it turned on by itself, which, I mean, I'm glad it still turns on and that I didn't mess up the liquid metal enough and short out anything with it. Oh, just missed it, but the console said that it was repairing itself. Okay, at least we got a white light and it displayed to the TV, so that's good. Wait for it to boot up and then we'll try to load a game again. All right, so moment of truth, we're gonna pop in this PS5 game and see what happens. It's loaded up and we're gonna try to push play right now. Here goes nothing. Is it still gonna fail? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna boot the console back up and I'll show you guys the error logs that were shown from the PS5, and maybe you guys can help me out, maybe point me in the right direction, but at least we got the liquid metal spread out and redistributed so that the console will be better protected now, but it looks like we still have the same issue with it shutting off when trying to load PS5 games. That really sucks, but I guess these things happen. Alright, so here is the error log for the console as of the last time that I reset it. Yeah, it's today's date, it's May 22nd, and yeah, so we have CE 108262-9. Looks like that's the one that's shown up the most, other than these two down here talking about data being corrupted. So, I don't know. The DNS server, I think that might just be an internet issue that I had when I unplugged the Ethernet cable and had to set up a wireless connection. But yeah, these are the error codes that I got so far. And I might try to mess around and reset the console again, clear the cache, do all those steps again, see if it'll make a difference, but I really don't think it will. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, but I think we're just gonna have to call it here for this video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you later, guys.